All right, I get that question a lot. They make you do math without a calculator for two main reasons: to see how you think and to see if you think. So if you multiply two numbers together and your answer was supposed to be 320 million, and you told me it was 3.2 billion, and 3.2 billion doesn't make any sense at all, it's going to raise some eyebrows because it's showing me that you're not thinking before you speak. And if you do that in something that's as important as an interview, what are you going to do in front of a client? I can't trust you, and if I can't trust you, I'm not going to hire you. So good rule of thumb, whenever you get a math problem, take an extra second and ask yourself, does this number make sense? If it makes sense, and say it. If it doesn't, go back and recalculate it, because you know they're going to make you recalculate it anyway. And once you say it, you can't unring the bell. And the math mistake that's most likely to hurt you is when you're off by a zero, and that's the one that most people make. Math is important. You don't need to do it in your head. If you can, then that's great. They're looking for you to get the answer as quickly as you can, but you need to be right. So if you need to write it down, that's fine. If you can do it in your head, that's fine as well. Now, the math that they're most likely to see are percentages and break-evens. The one that kind of raises the eyebrows the most is the net present value. So earlier I said they make you do math without a calculator to see not only how you think, but if you think. So with how you think, they're looking for you to take shortcuts. So the one example is Coors Beer. Coors Beer is thinking about getting into the bottled water industry because their beer is made with Rocky Mountain spring water. The bottled water industry was $18 billion last year. It's forecasted to grow 5% a year every year for the next 5 years. What's it going to be 5 years from now? So when I used to give that case live, people would take 5% of 18 billion and then 5% of that new number and then 5% of that new number. No one wants to sit there and watch you do the same calculation 2, 3, 4 times. They're looking for you to take shortcuts. So in that case, you could just simply say, if it's going to grow 5% a year every year for the next 5 years, that's going to be 25%. But we need to take compounding into consideration. So we know it's going to be more than 25%, but less than 30%. So my best guess is 28%. So then you just need to multiply 18 times 1.28, and you would get your answer. But the biggest mistake I see, again, and I don't care if you have a PhD in string theory or you're an applied math undergrad, are the multiplication and division with lots and lots of zeros.